Empire of the Sun with changes. Welcome back. It is the Country Viewpoint here on your colour of country life, Flow FM. Well, it is an important day today because it's Wear Orange to Work Wednesday, or WOW Day, whereby the community is invited to wear a splash of orange to work in honour of our emergency workers. And joining me on the line to tell us more about it is Tim Wiebusch, the Chief Officer of Operations for the SES in Victoria. Great to have you with us, Tim. How are you?
Yeah, great to be with you, Ellis, on Wear Orange Wednesday.
It is a fantastic initiative. I can see some spots of orange around the Flow FM offices because we were talking about this all day yesterday. Tell us more about the significance of the day, Tim.
Well, obviously this week is National Volunteer Week, which is our opportunity as a community to say thank you to volunteers of all kinds, but particularly today being Wear Orange Wednesday is a focus on SES volunteers, not just here in Victoria, but right across Australia, and a chance for the community to wear a splash of orange, take a photo, put it up on your socials and use the hashtag #ThankYouSES as a way of being able to say thank you to the terrific things that our SES volunteers do 365 days of the year.
Yeah, Tim, when I sort of have in my head, when I envision trees that have gone down in a cyclone or whatever it might be, and I just think about who are the frontline people, I always think of the colour orange, the thickness of the orange, of the emergency workers crowding around whatever the task is that is at hand for them. Is it the universal colour?
Yeah, look, it certainly is for our SES volunteers right across Australia, and whether that's them responding, as you say, to storms and floods, or on a day-to-day basis, turning out to road crash rescues, supporting the police with missing persons, or right through to some of the specialist capabilities of supporting the EPA, for example, with deploying incident air monitoring kits for air quality during bushfires and those sort of hazardous chemical events.
Tim, for someone who probably, it's not front of mind for them what the efforts that these SES workers go to. Can you paint the picture for us with, some sort of example of just how much they put themselves front and centre of making sure that others are safe in any capacity that it is, given that these are often voluntary contributions being made? Just how much do people put themselves on the line when it comes to this crucial service that I guess maybe sadly some people might take for granted?
Yeah, look, it's important to understand that the people in orange are volunteers. They all have either a day job or studying or family commitments or other things that they're managing, and so they're leaving those situations to come and help their community in their time of need. And quite often we talk about our volunteers running towards the emergency when others are running away from it. So whether it's during the floods or the storms, or those supporting fire with bushfires and things like that, our volunteers do so much, and it's not just in responding to the emergencies. They're training on a regular basis, no different to a football or a netball team. They're on regular training schedules to keep those specialist skills up, and also then from time to time out fundraising in their communities to keep up some of the equipment that the volunteers keep for us as well.
Tim Wiebusch is the Chief Officer for Operations for the SES in Victoria, and he joins us on our show today, given the significance of this day, Wear Orange to Work Day. We'll keep Tim on the line. Still plenty more to discuss. Up next, though, we'll take a quick look at the weather. It's the Country Viewpoint on this Wednesday on Flow FM. Don't go anywhere. With Lead Me On, and welcome back. It's the Country Viewpoint program on Flow FM. Well, we're taking a look at Wear Orange to Work Day in honour of our SES voluntary workers on today's program. And Tim Wiebusch is the Chief Officer for Operations for the SES in Victoria, and he's on the line with me. Are there any examples in all your time in the SES? Are there any moments that really spring to mind of particular incidents that are always going to be there for you with regards to volunteers and the efforts that they make?
Yeah, look, I think it's the selflessness that our volunteers have in terms of they always go above and beyond when the community's really doing it tough, whether it's a flood in their local community. It'll be the SES volunteers that are there early in the morning, they're still there late at night, being able to try and do whatever they can to support their community. And I think it's that camaraderie that people build when they join the SES or any of our emergency services that take on volunteers like CFA or Life Saving or Red Cross. In National SES or National Volunteer Week, it really is about thanking all of those volunteers and thinking about, well, is that something I could do to get involved in my community and help our community out in the time of need?
Tim, what kind of support do the volunteers get?
Look, our volunteers receive a range of supports in terms of whether it's, I guess, the vehicles and equipment, but they also contribute to some of that in terms of fundraising and grants. But obviously they see some fairly horrific scenes, particularly in our road crash rescue or missing person searches sometimes don't end with the result that we would all always like. And so we do have a peer support program, again, run by volunteers in the first instance, but they're backed up by wellbeing supports and psychologist teams and others that can make sure that we keep our people healthy, despite all the very tragic things that they do come across from time to time.
And just looking at the regional component of the SES volunteers, we know that there needs to be a high level of community resolve within regional towns across Victoria and Australia for that matter. Just tell us more about, the efforts that people in the regions go to as well to be involved in outfits such as your own.
Yeah, look, I think it's true of many of our SES volunteers that they're probably not just volunteering for one community group sometimes, particularly in the regional areas of Victoria. And so hats off to them in terms of what they do to get in and really be that vital support network. They're the first line of defence when emergencies occur. They're there first before we can perhaps bring support in from elsewhere. And so the community really looks to our SES volunteers as leaders in those times of crisis.
And just to finish, Tim, I suppose given that there's been a high level of traumatic experiences going on in Victoria, particularly post-pandemic, it's all the more reason to really get around days like this, given that people are sort of in many ways pretty stressed out after a number of years these days, and life's just getting a lot busier for so many people, cost of living as well. There's that cloud that people are constantly under every day. So really, really important to put a cheer on days like this, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I guess I'm wearing an orange jacket here today in support of our SES volunteers nationally, but also I guess it's, as you say, a very simple gesture that people can make. Wear something orange, take a photo, put it up on your socials, or if you see your SES volunteers, just a simple thank you is often all that they're looking for that brings a smile back to their face as well.
Tim Wiebusch, we really do appreciate your time here on the Country Viewpoint, the Chief Officer of Operations for the SES in Victoria. All the best, and we really do thank you for coming on our program today.
Thanks, Ellis. It's been a pleasure.
Tim Wiebusch, the Chief Officer for Operations for the Victorian SES, good enough to join us on what is such an important day and a very big day for his organisation. It's a Country Viewpoint. We've still got plenty more to dissect on the program as we head towards our second hour. Stay tuned.